Hi, Sandy.
Hi, it's Dave.
Hi, it's Kirk.
Welcome to the A.D.K Rock and Metal channel. Today we're doing discussion topics, and the discussion today we're going to talk about the wonderful band that is Sepultura. So, obviously Sepultura about 12 months ago, give or take, decided to announce a farewell tour.
Yeah.
First question, there's multiple questions in relation to this discussion. One, when they announced their farewell tour, was Andreas already thinking, and Paolo Jr. already thinking about a reunion with Max and Igor? Was that already, because they'd already got, Max and Igor had already started Cavalera Conspiracy years before. They're off there, and were they thinking, right, this is the time? Was this a back of the head conversation?
Can you imagine how much money they could trouser from a world tour?
And now, as soon
Always
as
preempting, isn't he?
but already, we've already seen it. They're still all on their final tour, and the conversations are now being had with Max. Has been had a conversation, and just they are open towards it. Although what Max has clearly said is that at this point in time, as far as he's concerned, Max Cavalier Conspiracy is the Sepultura that you've got, because of it's got Igor, it's got himself in it. They're playing Sepultura tracks. That is Sepultura in his head. He doesn't see a massive benefit, but he would do it if it could be done in the right way. So the next question then is, what's the right way? Do you see Sepultura coming out and doing like we've seen with I can't think of the freaking name now off the top of my head, System of a Down, where they come out and just do the occasional big festival headline tour? Because Sepultura could. Sepultura were never a headliner of festival bands. They were high up the bill, but they would never, maybe a small tier festival they would headline, but they could, if they did an announcement, they could headline down.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And it would go fucking nuts. And is that going to be the case that we see with Sepultura? And is this all been something that's in the back of their head that's been planned for the last few years?
Because I don't want to preempt it. Let's go with.
This is just saying this because we said ages ago when we talked about Sepultura, we've had this on the thing, and we've just said, and we said the same with Slayer, about when Slayer decided that they were retiring. We're like, yeah, but are they just doing this so that they can come back and do a massive big headlining? Now, of course, that's still not happened, although there's been talk of it, to come back and do a big arena show. And I still think Slayer will happen.
Yeah.
Just not for another couple more years. But with Sepultura, I think this is definitely something that's been. They just don't want to say yes straight away because they still want.
It's kind of like a dignified transition
How?
to being a legacy band if it happens. And you can say, Derek, yep, thank you, farewell Sepultura tour. Oh, actually, we're going to do this now as well.
Because they're not going to be able to play anything for the last 30 years, effectively, from Sepultura.
No, that's my point.
So the last 30 years, they can't play any of that stuff because
people don't want to see that, do they?
They want to see all the early stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And and occasionally, they're going to want Bloody Roots played as well, and a few bits like that. So
Well,
Max has got
Max is on that. Yeah.
Yeah, so they'll play all of those. But I'm wondering, would you want to see a full tour of a band, or would you just want to see them headline festivals? I think it's going to be headline festivals personally, but it's how they do it.
Well, I'd probably go to neither, so to me, it doesn't really matter. But
yeah,
my question regarding this is, Cavalera have released now the first three
Covers albums, technically, aren't they?
well, first three Sepultura releases.
Recordings, yeah.
And the band consists of Igor and Max, and isn't it Igor's son as well?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, what would happen to that project if Max and Igor team up with Andreas and Paolo Jr.?
Put it to the side for a while.
What do Cavalera do when they play live? Do they just do? Is there Cavalera songs as well?
Yeah, they've done albums before. Before they did Bestial Devastation and Morbid Visions.
They did a couple of albums as well.
And Schizophrenia, they had done some albums, yeah.
Yeah, but what goes down best from their live shows, you think?
Sepultura.
Exactly. So,
but I think
these two guys are going to be, put out to pasture, and if they team up with Max and with Igor, fucking hell, Andreas and Paolo Jr.
They'll do what Pantera have done. They'll go out and they'll do all the big festivals. And that's,
I'd like to see it happen in some form. I mean, I really enjoyed the Cavalera re-recordings. They're fucking awesome. Not especially Bestial Devastation and Morbid Visions. I'm not so keen on Schizophrenia, but I wasn't such a fan of that album anyway. But I think, do it. People have been screaming out for this for the last 30 years, haven't they? Really, let's be honest.
Imagine Rock in Rio. They could headline that.
They could easily.
200,000.
Because the thing is, they can go off and do side projects and stuff like that, and Cavalier Conspiracy can carry on doing touring whilst they're doing festivals. I think the only way that this would work is if they do festivals, not as a tour, because that way they can just come in, rehearse, do the big festival date, and then fuck off again, and
This
not
is
have to be.
This is what Max means by doing it the right way.
Yeah.
Big festival headline or big
I
festival
think it
shows
is.
rather than like a tour.
Because I think if they do a tour, I mean, they could do a tour and do the whole theatrics, but then they're going to have to really build that relationship back again. Whereas I think with the festival idea, they've got to be getting on good terms, but they can do it as more of a business idea.
Yeah.
Because they don't have to be living with each other on the road. They can come out, get together, rehearse, go do the show,
And
fuck
as you
off,
said.
and go back for a few weeks in their own life again.
Yeah.
And I think that makes the most sense. The question then would be is, straight away people are going to go, when are we getting a new album from Sepultura then?
Well, just
And
say
they're
no,
gonna
we're not
force
doing
it.
it.
They don't have to do it. They could easily live as a legacy band.
Yeah, I mean, one question, we know the answer. Do heavy metal musicians have a private pension? No. Could there be an offer?
No, I'm waking up thinking about that. And, you know,
No, it's not the type of industry, is it?
No.
You live on the road, you live from
Yeah.
one album to the next, maybe not as much now, but it's certainly in
That's why
that
Max
growing
does the
period.
amount of projects he does as well.
Exactly. So, if you look at that question, are they likely to receive an offer they cannot refuse?
Yeah.
Yes. Now, no matter which way you put a spin on it, when it's going to be done in the right manner, money has to play a big part in this. You could trouser a lot of money doing that. I agree.
And I think
Doing the
it's-
festival circuit.
as long as it doesn't damage what they want to do right now, because obviously if it would have made no sense while the other Sepultura was still, the current format of Sepultura was still trying to go, to do a Max and Igor coming back and doing a tour, because then there have been two. So that's why it makes sense why they wrapped it up now. And I think Andres was kind of getting to the point where, like, I think conversations had already started happening behind the scenes, that he knew that Max was going to be potentially open for it. So they realised that actually, do you know what, let's wrap this up now so that we've got a year to sort this out and we can now negotiate over the next year while we're doing an end of tour. It gives us a chance to get Sepultura's name back out there because we're saying that we're retiring. That gives a big hype.
Yep.
Whilst we're doing that, we can then start to do the whole money spinning of what about a reunion with, and they waited a decent amount of time. They didn't go, we're retiring, we're giving up, thank you very much, we're going to do a final tour. By the way, we're going to get the other version of it, but they left a decent amount of time.
Think about it this, right? 2026 is going to be the 30th anniversary of Roots. That would be perfect, wouldn't it?
And this is the other reason, because it would make more sense there, because also they will not announce as a Max and Igor until the last day of the current Sepultura tour has
Which
finished.
is December, isn't it? 24.
Because if they announce that, yes, we are going to get together, they are not going to sell fuck all tickets out for the rest of the Sepultura tour because everyone will be waiting.
yeah.
Because it's not even that. I mean,
Yeah.
one of the biggest influences or the biggest draws for the most recent version of Sepultura was Eloy on drums.
Yeah,
And
definitely.
he fucked
Eli
off to go
Casagrande.
off and do Slipknot, which I still I'm pissed about that, to be honest, because I'm like, you have been such an integral part of Sepultura. They announced that they are going to do their big final tour and they're going to go, and you're like, fuck it, I'm leaving. And you're
Payday.
like, but
Slipknot.
then they bring a drummer in. You're like, but you're not even getting Sepultura at this point for this final tour. You're getting an element of it. But I understood why he said it. He was like, because the option was there on the table at that point. In a year and a half's time, that option was not going to be available. He had to make the right decision for his career and his finances. But I think there's a lot of planning, and they are being really smart about how they've done it.
Not necessarily secret. Yeah, I mean, when they're not being devious in any way. We don't need to be cynical about it, I think we're saying.
No, I don't think it's just suddenly out of the blue. They've gone, actually, yeah, we'd be up for it. I think someone has been chatting and someone said to Andreas there's been an opportunity that might be coming up. And they're like, actually, this would be a good time. Let's start to build these bridges. Let's not announce anything now. Let's keep the chats going. Let's still finalise how we're going to do this.
Can you imagine
Keep it open.
Can you imagine how painful it's been for Max over the years? The band he started in high school with his brother, and he said, didn't he used to graffiti his desk at school with the name Sepultura. And then from 1996 onwards, he's basically, especially when Igor leaves, in 2006, fucking hell, that must be devastating. That he's watching this band, this brand, to use that term.
But he walked away from it.
Yeah,
he
he
chose
did.
that.
And he's still with Gloria, by the way, so
Yeah.
he's still married to her. So
I mean, we understand the background of why and what the personalities and so forth, but because I'm going to raise another one. While we're talking about reunions, while we talked about Sepultura, Skid Row, that is another one that keeps coming up. Skid Row reunion, Sebastian back.
yeah, it'd be a money
So
sale,
they keep going on about it, and was it Sabo Snake, guitarist, I think, for Skid? And they're like, no, this is not going to work. This is not going to happen. But the amount of money they're getting offered to do it, so of course, Sebastian Bach is like, yeah, we can do it. We can do this. It'll be amazing, because there's loads of money involved in it.
Yeah.
But Skid Row just keep pushing off. They had Eric came in and obviously couldn't do it because of his health, keep on the road for tour. Lizzie Howe's been filling in on vocals in the meantime. But the long-term plan, people are wanting these reunions. And there are so many bands that you think about that...
I mean, can you imagine how much R.E.M. could make if they came back together? They'd be offered tens of millions.
Slayer, Oasis is another one that keeps going on about. If you
the Gallagher brothers.
Dave Ellison and Mustaine going for Megadeth and bringing Marty Friedman back in.
Oh man, I would pay for that.
There are elements here of why reunions are really important. And it's what I don't get in this day and age. We've just had conversations today where we talk about the lack of finances, that you can't make any money on that. You've got to try and sell everything on merch. You've got to be on the road. So why wouldn't these bands, with these offers, Skid Row would easily be able to, again, headline festivals, make stupid amounts of money. I don't understand the resilience from the actual band when they're like, you've all grown up a bit. It's been 30 years now since you've had these arguments. Do you want to move on, mate?
Yeah.
It's a win-win for everybody, isn't it?
Yeah.
You know, fans are...
Do festivals.
No fan of Sepultura is going to be opposed to the idea. No Skid Row fan's going to be opposed to this idea.
Can you imagine Megadeth Euthanasia 30th anniversary?
You haven't got Nick Menza, but you could bring in, was it Joe DeGrasso, I think was the guy that replaced Nick Menza, I think was the guy that came in
just
after.
keep the current drummer, I suppose. Dirk, isn't it? Dirk for Byron. Just keep him in there.
So you could do it, and you bring back some of these lineups.
Well, Machine Head did it, didn't they? Do you know what was great with Machine Head? When they did that 25th anniversary, they had two sets. One with the current lineup.
All right.
And then they'd end with a Bare My Head set with all, other than the bass player, the original lineup. And you can tell that they've not spoken to each other for decades, but they did it for the fans. And I think that's such a glorious thing, isn't it? It's like, look, whatever our differences, there are people out there who want to see this.
Yeah.
Let's serve them. Let's give them what they want. And they were able to see past the differences.
Yeah, they did tour, and then they finished it, and they went off in their own separate ways.
Because you can tell Rob and Logan are not friends, can you? But hey, he got on with it.
And Slayer, I mean, Slayer's the hard one because obviously the full lineup's not there anymore.
And Tom and Kerry seem to
just seem to hate each other, and same with Dave Lombardo, although they have the obviously boss staff as well.
Yeah,
come in there. So cool. Let us know what you think though about reunions and bands. Should bands just get the fuck over it and make some money? I don't know. Let us know in the comments down below. Thank you very much for watching.